Oh, that was a good. That conversation leads right into what I was trying to say earlier. Until you told me to not talk about it because you were pulling out the equipment and you want to wait till the equipment was out. That actually led perfectly into what I was gonna ask you.
Okay.
The random question that popped into my head. What do you do? And for example,
okay.
like I was telling you, what is his name right there in the ring? I forget.
Baron Corbin.
What's his first name?
Baron.
Baron. I always forget. Baron Corbin. Like, when I first saw him, I thought he was great. I don't think he was where he needs to be like a top guy, but he looks like someone who would have potential. Now, he was very cringy on the microphone, things like that,
which was his downfall.
Right, which seems like
it's the one hindrance.
Right,
it's not even good enough to get by.
And it's an easy answer to the question with that one, right? Like, just keep practicing and get better on the mic. But as far as like
false, no, I don't agree with that. It doesn't always change for people. Like Dolph got better. Dolph's a great example of that. He was really bad, and then he just kind of became tolerable. There's some people who there's just people who can't get on the mic and just do that. They just can't.
But I just mean in general, like, what do you do as let's say you're a WWE superstar,
right?
You're not terrible. You're not someone who saw as like the jobber, the guy who just goes in, fills in, or makes an appearance every once in a blue moon. People forget about you because you're just in the back. And you're also not the guy who's closing out the shows every week. You're in the middle.
Right.
What do you do? Okay, here's a very good example, actually, because I was just trying to catch up on your podcast the other day, so this is a good one. What do you do as a Kofi Kingston to make yourself that guy?
Kofi, in this instance, will never be the top guy. Or
I understand that, but what I'm
a mid-card guy. What is a mid-card guy
in that situation as a person? Like, I want to be a top guy.
Right.
So what do I do? I mean, he's been in the business a long time.
Right.
He's had a few gimmicks or whatever.
Right.
He has niches where he goes in there and does these ladder matches. You almost get pigeonholed as the
ladder and Royal Rumble.
The ladder or Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get yourself out of that? And become someone and someone else goes, you know what? This dude's working.
In today's WWE, you don't. Which is unfortunate.
But it sounds like to me what you just said a little bit ago is you can't even do that in the indies.
What? Just ascend to the top guy? And
yeah.
I think it's actually easier for you in the indies than in the WWE.
It seems like if whoever's running the business has this perception of you, you're not going to change it. They're not going to change it.
No,
and
see.
You can't do anything to change it.
When I said earlier that the indies is kind of like everybody wants to be on Vince McMahon and they all want to change gimmicks and stuff like that. It's still easier to succeed in the indies because those promoters you can steer clear of. You can market yourself. You can promote yourself. You can make your own money. You can sell your own merch. You can make your own dates. It's possible. In the WWE, like you said, how do I get from mid-card to the main event? No matter how many audiences you wrestle in front of, no matter how many TV shows you do, how many pay-per-views you do, you only really need to impress one guy. Vince. That's it. I don't give a shit how many pops you get. I don't give a shit how many merch you sell.
No, that's not true. And you said no because we were talking about that, and this is when you told me to stop talking about it because you said you want to talk about it here.
Okay.
Is that my example of that was AJ Styles.
Yeah, but
he's not a guy that you've even said that Vince is not that he doesn't
Vince
like
likes him.
But it's not. He wasn't
not his favorite
top dog.
No, Roman's his top dog.
Which,
and if they had one belt, AJ wouldn't be the champion. But they got two belts. So the red belt, that one, the one on TV behind us, that's Vince's belt. Who the guys that Vince likes gets that belt.
But the reason why AJ is where he is because of the fans.
It's
not
the
because Vince says that's my guy.
No, it's not. No, it's not because of the fans at all. It's because Vince says that's my guy. Because regardless of how popular AJ was, if he rubbed Vince the wrong way, he wouldn't be the U.S. champion. I'm just going based on track record for the last few years. There are a lot of guys who have come in with fanfare, and not just indie guys, but guys. The ultimate evidence of this is the NXT call-ups. It's disgusting, disturbing, and criminal the way these NXT call-ups have gone. Triple H puts them on NXT, makes them these big, huge fucking stars. I mean, guys who should be coming in and fighting for the title right now. And then they come on SmackDown.
I'm dead against that.
No. I'm not saying that they should. I'm saying that they're built up so crazy great. And then they come to Raw and SmackDown. And Vince, who has admitted this openly, will purposely crush them. Crush the momentum. Just to see if they rise from that. If they rise from that, he starts to take a little bit of a liking to them.
Yeah, but it's not like
Once they
can
survive,
physically do something themselves. They're crushing them is him like not booking them properly. They can't go
crushing
in
them
there.
is not only not booking them properly, but keeping them off TV altogether.
Yeah, but then how do you rise from it if
you
you're not
don't.
on there?
This is what I'm trying to explain to you. You don't. Cesaro has been pound for pound one of the best professional wrestlers in this company for 8 years. He is on his 4th tag team, and the only reason he is there is because he fumbled his words on one promo 4 years ago, and he's still paying the price for it. Once you fuck up, once, Vince loses all faith, and you are in purgatory for the rest of your fucking life. Dolph is paying the price for a mistake he didn't make. They made him the world champion. Jack Swagger kicked him in his fucking skull. He got a concussion and couldn't defend the title. He's been on their shit list ever since, and I don't know why he'd be on the shit list for that. But that's the point they always keep going to. He's unreliable. Daniel Bryan, Mr. Yes Movement, had that big moment at WrestleMania 30. He was never planned on having that. That was never the plan. As a matter of fact, Daniel Bryan said his opponent that year was supposed to be Sheamus. For no reason. There was no belts. They were going to do a program from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania involving him and Sheamus. Which, by the way, that would have been Daniel Bryan and Sheamus' 3rd WrestleMania match. So, like I said, and that's the yes movement we're talking about, where the fans were hijacking the show every fucking night. Vince still did not want his ass in the main event. And you know why? And he said this too. He did not trust that Daniel Bryan would be able to hold up. And guess what happened? He didn't hold up. He broke down as projected, as predicted. So when Vince does these stupid things...
You mean broke down physically?
Yes, he broke down physically. He's an indie darling who took all the risks possible. So by the time he got to the WWE, even though he was in his 30s, he was a broken down old man, and they knew it when they hired him. That's why they said, we're going to put him on the top of the card, a few main events here and there. He'll win the IC belt, US title belt, but he'll never truly be the guy because we can't trust him to be the guy. He won't hold up. And Lord and behold, it wasn't but what? 4 months? 3 months? Broken. He was gone. So every time Vince does listen to the fans and pushes them up, they either break or do something stupid, or the fans do something stupid. I just did on my last podcast. Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins, two internet darlings. This is the two wrestlers that all wrestling fans, the real pro wrestling fans, love, right? They love these two guys. They're fighting in an Iron Man match, 30 minutes, not even the full 60, 30 minutes for the Intercontinental title. In the main event, Vince is giving these two guys the shine. Here you go, boys. Prove me right. Prove the fans right. Let's see you go out there and steal the show. And you know what the fans are doing? They're counting the clock that was on the screen, like the Royal Rumble. They were actually going 10, 9, 8. When they got down to 1, they went, and then were quiet until it got down again, and then they would count. And they did it every fucking minute all the way down. So, even when he does cave and give the people what they fucking ask for, they shit on it. So, ask me again, how the fuck am I supposed to get out of purgatory? You don't. You don't. You can go on there and wrestle all the matches you want. Seth Rollins has been killing it for fucking months.
So your fate is sealed the moment you enter.
You have one shot to impress the boss. Once you fail to do so or betray said trust, you're done. You don't go back up. You don't go back. Miz won the world championship how many fucking years ago? 2011? He won the belt. He was the champion. He went to WrestleMania, right? He had the worst WrestleMania main event of all time. After that, he never got close. He went down in popularity a little bit, but then he got back up. Even I have to admit, he's great right now on the microphone. The Miz is money.
I've always liked Miz.
He's money right now. Even I have to admit that. Is he a world champion right now? No. Why? Betrayed the trust. Once you slip, you don't go back. That's why for those few who were up there, the Austins, the Takers, the Shawn Michaels, the Bret Harts, the reason why they're regarded in so high by management, and even by Vince. You know, Vince inducts these people to the Hall of Fame himself.
Pure consistency.
They don't stumble. That's right. Consistency. It doesn't matter where the show is. It doesn't matter what the audience is.
Yeah, but these
doesn't
are
matter
guys
your
who've
health.
been injured during title
And they don't miss a beat. Steve Austin broke his neck, dropped on his fucking head by Owen Hart. He didn't miss a fucking TV. He was on every week.
Yeah, I mean,
Making the money, baby.
I mean, that was the Attitude Era.
That was the Attitude Era. And now they're much more safer with their athletes, and they make them take time off. Dean Ambrose has been gone for 8 or 9 months. Not a Dean guy.
Thank God. No, I don't wish him any ill will, but I am not a fan of that guy at all. He was boring to me anyway.
That's a story for another fucking day. Jesus Christ. I gotta admit, as fun as it is to make these shows, it feels even nicer knowing I'm being heard. And if you want to hear every single episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind with me, your host, AJ Orsini, all you need to do to catch every new episode is head over to ajoum.podbean.com every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And if you can't get on the Podbean, I've got several other platforms in which you can catch me. The show is also on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play Music, Listen Notes, Castbox.fm, and now officially Spotify. You can catch all those platforms and get your fix of Orsini's Uncensored Mind.